Okay, so we're recording.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning. So we'll go ahead and give the writing prompt right away. So if you want to work with us, or work while you listen to us, you can. And it's, when do I feel? Oh, that's not the right one. What does resilience mean to me? What does resilience mean to me?
Well, and this is Steph and I worked this writing prompt, and then we worked for a while in silence. And honestly, what I was amazed about is how much stuff kept coming up about resilience as I worked. And I guess maybe the big thing that came up for me is making this connection. That for me, resilience has always meant getting, being able to manage everything without any meltdowns. I have all my ducks in a row. I can meet, and then I'm really realizing resilience is, can I meet what's unfolding? And can I not? And sometimes I meet it with a meltdown. Mm. It's not what I want. It's, from the little blowing up your dinner in the microwave to somebody dying. But can I not stifle that first response? Can I just meet it? Can I not blow it up into some judgment about who I am? And that really resilience is, that can I meet it as it unfolds? Can I meet the anger, the sorrow, the meltdown, without punishing myself for being lazy or worthless? Mm. And then can I have, and in that meeting myself, this is what resilience is. I meet myself no matter what it is, honestly, and I'm able to call myself back to myself and find my ground again. And not carry it, never let it inform or infuse my entire beingness.
Yeah. I had something similar in that I felt like resilience was, for me, was to be much like a bungee cord, a sturdy bungee cord that could meet things, could stretch out, could get pulled away from home, but come back, and have that happen without a million little tragedies going on in my head about it. And or and also the big thing for me is physically being able to handle what's happening, because I'm working with meeting things, like sort of like what you were saying, meeting things as they arise and not blowing it up and making it harder for my body to hold it all.
Mm-hmm.
And wow. Yeah. And it's interesting because resiliency is something that is going to be different for everybody.
Right. And I think for me too, resiliency is about, it is about meeting that I have have what it takes to meet what is uncomfortable. And to to meet that honestly where I'm at, and might be something I don't like, might be something that is challenging me, can I meet that instead of avoiding it? And I see how I weaken myself when I avoid it. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, it doesn't go away. It just, you have to meet the discomfort at some point.
Yeah.
And when I've avoided it and it's simmered and I've stewed and I've blown it up, into something bigger, it's even hard. I end up having less resiliency to meet it than if I had just met it in the moment and dealt with that discomfort instead of the layers of discomfort that, what did you call it? I call it tiny apocalypses after a David Byrne song.
Exactly.
and
Yes.
and I think about that song, daily tiny apocalypses all the time. And can I not get knocked down or make a judgment about myself about all of that? I mean, really, do I think I'm the only one? Do I think everybody else has gotten it all together and they're just so resilient and they meet everything in their life perfectly? It's like, no, it's learning to meet that edge as it comes up.
Knowing while you're meeting it that it's going to be your edge and no one else's, so it's going to look different. So,
Right.
and it's okay. Somebody with chronic pain issues is going to meet it differently than somebody, in a very healthy, vibrant body at that time. Doesn't mean that you still can't hold it, and you still can't have resiliency around everything. It just means it's going to look different.
And one of the things I heard recently about resiliency too is it's sort of that difference between when you see people who they have to move, or they've lost a parent. That it's not that they don't grieve, it's not that they don't feel it, but they seem to have something that holds them, that they don't just lose it and become a puddle and can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, that I feel like I've certainly been the puddle person. It's part of what took me into this work was getting knocked over by even just tiny stuff. I wasn't having big stuff. I was able to come back to that sense of myself that, yes, this is terrible. I don't like it. But here we are. How do we hold it, and how do we hold the ever-changing emotions in it and feelings, and not amp it up, not stuff it away, but just be in it. I guess that's really what resilience is. I used to think it would save me maybe from feeling all that stuff, but it really is what holds us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strengthening, a tonifying piece, it feels like, to be able to meet what is.
Yeah. And I mean, and not to just harp on this, but it really does make a difference to meet things right in the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the whole, worrying about things. I can remember when my mom was really sick, I had to just meet things right in the present moment because things are happening so quickly. But, I feel like I met it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And had I had time to know what was going to happen and stew about it and all this and that, it wouldn't have, like you were saying, it just, you don't meet it as well, and you aren't as resilient because you've worn yourself down with the worry.
Right. And the planning, and this is how I would manage it. And, there is something that, to me, a resilient adult is somebody who's able to go, oh, okay, this is what's happening now. And what do we need for this? And I had the same experience when my mother was dying, that I could go there with a 5 million plans and feel really good and strong. But once I got there, it was a crapshoot.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was moment to moment. I didn't know, like, okay, this is what we're doing. And I'm like you, I feel like this work really helped me go, oh, yes, you made these plans so you could get here. But now you got to throw them all out the window and just really use the work we've been working. How do I be present?
Mm-hmm.
How do I be clear about what's mine? You know, what I'm blowing up. You know, those tiny apocalypses aren't often happening way out there. They're happening. I'm creating them and setting the fire. To sort of back away, you know, to cling to what I thought, how I thought I would manage it and make it happen.
Yeah.
Letting it all go. Flying without, what is it, without a net. Working without a net.
And trusting that you have an internal bungee cord.
That you haven't stretched out.
Right.
It still has some spring in it. But not too much. Oh, yes, resilience. Well, I hope all of you have as much fun with resilience as it feels like Steph and I've had this morning. It was, you know, I found myself writing in between working because more kept coming about it. Mm-hmm. And I love those moments when that happens. It makes me feel like, oh, okay, this is a juicy place to work.
Yeah.
So we offer that to all of you. See how it is to work with our question that we worked with this morning, and
we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.